Hello everyone, I am Kulwant Kaur from IASPrimers. I come to you with one more topic of UPSC Essay. But before I start, I must tell you that I'm very flattered and very happy with your comments. Thank you for being of my tribe and community and praising me. No matter what your age, praise is always welcome. Thank you so much. Well, coming to this, the topic of the essay is the process of self-discovery has now been technologically outsourced. So the first thing when you get an essay, underline the main words, the key words. So here it is self-discovery and technology, right? So these are the two important words, but always there are helping words which will help you to, go ahead with the essay. Here it is that self-discovery is a process. But when it talks about process, there will always be a system. There is a way of doing it. It will take time. That is what a process would be, right? So what is the process of self-discovery? And then technologically outsourced self-discovery is within. Have you outsourced it? Have you told somebody else to do it? Now, this is an essay. You can agree with it or choose to disagree. Or agree a little and disagree a little. That is entirely your choice. This is a statement. It is not that you have to, elucidate or justify this statement. Right? So you can give your own viewpoints. So it is like that. Let's start here. So first of all, let us know what is self-discovery, because that is the most important thing. Technology or no technology, there would be other ways, right? But most important is self-discovery. What is self-discovery? Self-discovery is knowing about yourself. What about yourself? It could be questions like, what is the purpose of my life? What will make me happy? It could also be like, what are my strengths and how can I raise to my full potential? Right? So that is, especially in the materialistic world, nowadays we want fame, and we want to rise to our best potential, the highest we can go. So what is it that you're looking in self-discovery? Okay. Why? Well, name and fame is one thing. It could be a higher purpose. What is the purpose of my life? Why have I taken birth? And then, how? How do you do the self-discovery? This is important. See, in the past it was different. What happened in the past? They left everything. They left their homes. They means the Mahatmas or the Sadhus, Gautam Buddha, Mahavir. So they left their homes. They went to the mountains. They stayed in the snow. They stayed in the caves. So they bore a lot of austerities. They had to withstand the cold, the animals, the harsh climate, away from your relatives, relations, dear ones, away from, they followed a system of detachment to find out the goal. They felt if they could detach from that Moh Maya, that is, I think, another essay which is coming up, right? So if they detached from that, then in that case, they would be able to connect to the higher purpose, connect to God. Moses went like that and he got connected and he got the 10 commandments. Gautam Buddha, under the Bodhi tree, he got enlightenment and he came to know what is the reason of suffering of man. And then he spread the message of, when he got enlightened, he spread the message. Okay? Detachment keeps you away from suffering. Lord Mahavir, under the sal tree, it took him 14 years. And then he came up with the Jainism, another sect which followed his discovery. Similarly with Nanak, he went for 3 days. Nobody knew where. And he went to bathe, and for 3 days he was alop. You couldn't see him. He was not there, and then he came, and then he He knew so many things. I mean, he could, the Japti Sahib and everything came up then. But whatever the process, this was shorter one in that way, but it's a long process. Generally, it was a very long process of discovering the purpose of life, self-discovery. They discovered their purpose of life was to spread this message, self-discovery. That was the way it was followed in the past. Present, how do I do it? How do your parents do it? I don't know, but one way is meditation, rituals and satsangs which we attend. That is one thing. But a very common factor is technology. Right? For example, you have YouTube, and then you have so many, you name it, whether it is motivational gurus, you have Brahmakumaris and Nanak Naam. There are so many. And all these ways, you listen to sermons of being, how you can live a better life. In living that better life, you're discovering yourself. It's both ways. You discover the best way of living and you live that life. Self-discovery. You realize that, yes, this is what I was doing, I should not be doing, or this is what I can do and I should do, whatever way. So that is self-discovery, YouTube. Other than that, YouTube also tells you another thing, which I think most of you, even I do, but then most of the younger generation will agree with that. And that is to listen to great people. Again, it is said to become great, to come to your potential, explore your potential, you should be in the company of great people. One easy way, earlier it was to read about great personalities. Now YouTube is so simple, you just click and you get. So anyone you want to know, whom you fancy, whom you want as a role model, you listen to them and see what they have done and you learn from their mistakes so that you don't make the same mistakes. Where is the point in learning, reinventing gravity, I always say. So if you can learn from other people's mistake, we are smart, right? But then, of course, let us admit, we have begun talking about technology. So technology has a very big role. For that matter, technology, also there are many apps. Where should I write? Here, let's say technology. So technology. So in the present day, they do with technology. And what are the advantages? For example, I just told you about great people, when they listen to their great people's stories, or their experiences, or their affirmations, right? That is one. Other than that, we have a lot of apps. Lot of apps are there. Headspace, meditation app. They tell you when, they condition you in a way. The word condition is important. I mean, they tell you when to have your glass of water so that you don't forget to have water. You don't get dehydrated. You take a break from your computer. They tell you when to have a small meal. There are prompts. They will nudge you to go for a walk. I mean, our entire life sometimes is controlled by the computer. There are such beautiful apps, fine. But then we stop using our head. Everything we want on the app. In fact, there are apps also advantages to tell you about yourself, your strengths and weaknesses. So, when we know our strengths and weaknesses, we are not going away from the question. It is about self-discovery. Every time, every paragraph you write, you must repeat the keywords. See, now this is one mantra I'm telling you, Guru Mantra. Because when you repeat, you will be on track. Second thing I'll tell you, don't give too many examples, because when you give too many examples, it's like putting the car and start and just accelerating without moving forward. Not putting it in the gear and moving forward, but just accelerating there and there. So too many examples have that impact. So you have to move ahead. But then keep on track. Your strengths and weaknesses to find out yourself. But then there was another way also. You could have asked for feedback from your friends, from your relatives, from your neighbors. Right? That is one way, and a good way. But nevertheless, We want to shy to, we are shy in asking. We do not want to reveal our wrong points or weaknesses to others. So we prefer to be with the mobile to find out that. So that is one thing. Your strengths and weaknesses, the mobile tells you. However, so much is not required, so much of detail. These self-discovery process, technologically outsourced by, can be explored by maybe a psychologist through psychometric tests. But then that is required only when there is a problem case. For example, you're in depressions, or you're a maniac of a sort, and you need help. So then maybe these tests are important. Otherwise, nothing like mixing up and being social. But technology had a very good advantage, especially during the COVID and the pandemic time, when you had to live in this contact-free zone. So whether you were quarantined in one room, or your relatives or friends abroad or your family abroad could not come to you, it was through technology that you could connect, right? Whether it is WhatsApp and all, especially WhatsApp, in fact, WhatsApp calls and video calls, so one could sail through. At that time, of course, technology was friend, counselor, guide, guru, everything rolled in one, friend. Okay, so then technology, we had almost outsourced our life to, and I think in this COVID time we have outsourced our life to technology. I think this is right in a way. However, we must be careful, because too much of dependence on technology, or anything for that matter, will spoil our creativity, will curb our creativity. It will prevent us from using our mind, and that could be a beginning of a very, very, very serious problem. Because what distinguishes us from the rest of the creation of God is the mind. And if we let it numb without using it, we are in for big trouble. So it is, should be very careful when you're outsourcing it. You have to be very careful whether how much are you outsourcing it. Whether you're still in control or the reins are still in your hand, that's very important. Though it is true the process of self-discovery has now been technologically outsourced, but the extent to which it is outsourced should be your calling and your understanding and your reason. That is very important. I hope I have been able to clarify and reach to all the points which I want to mention. I would like to tell you that I write the essay first, about 1,200 words, and then I take up the essay to speak to you, because only then I know, and I'm very confident that these points will help you write the essay. Of course, there would be a few from your side. In fact, it is good to have these as triggers and you write your own essay. You shouldn't be repeating this. Essay should be your own, otherwise you'll tend to forget, right? So this is very important. Okay, best of luck. And if there are some things which you would like to say or would like me to address, please leave them in the comment box. Yes, your praise is welcome. And well, this is Kulwant Kaur from IASPrimers, and hope you benefit. God bless you. Take care.